name is Barbara Fritz Warby, and I'm a member of the Holliston Pride Committee. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Holliston's very first publicly displayed pride flag. I want to thank the members of the Holliston Pride Committee, Lena Geraldo, Trudy Cross, Lena is over here, Danielle Charlotte, Carrie Mullen. Thank you for all of your hard work in making Pride in Holliston happen this year. I want to thank Select Person Tina Hine for bringing this item to the Holliston Select Board for a vote, and to the Select Board for voting to approve the hanging of the Pride flag. I also want to thank Donna in the Select Board office for coordinating the flag drop-off with me. Although it might seem like in 2020, this is no big deal. There are towns just like ours in Massachusetts who have yet to improve such a motion. In fact, such a story is behind how we got these particular flags here up today. The Hingham Pride Project generously donated both the Philly flag, which is the pride flag with the black and brown stripes, and the custom-made H Pride flag. They were excited to support us because they could not get such an initiative passed in their town. They recognize that, to quote the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Our gay family in Hingham stepped up and helped us out because that's what you do when you're all fighting for the same thing. I want to give a special shout out to Michelle from the Hingham Pride Project for meeting me earlier this week and hand delivering the flags. So you might be asking yourself, why would a pride group not have a pride flag among them available to fly? So, well, the original rainbow flag is beautiful and classic, but this year especially, we are seeing the rising tide of racism and white supremacy claim more and more black and brown lives. And we knew it was imperative for us to raise a flag that represented our commitment to intersectionality in the LGBTQ community in Holliston. As George Floyd was heartlessly murdered on Memorial Day 18 days ago, and the COVID pandemic still limits our means of connection, it has seemed like there would be no room for a Pride celebration this year. And so the Holliston Pride Committee considered that this year, we would like Holliston Pride to include reflection. We need to reflect on how we, as LGBTQ Americans, owe many of the rights we have today to transgender women of color. We need to reflect on how the gay rights movement that began 51 years ago this month at a bar in New York City's Greenwich Village called the Stonewall Inn, when gay patrons began rioting in response to police harassment and brutality. Marsha P. Johnson, who was black, and Sylvia Rivera, who was Latinx, were at the forefront of these riots, but most of us have never heard of them. We don't teach their names in our American public schools, and they are heroes. See, in the late 1960s, it was illegal to engage in gay behavior, such as holding hands, kissing, or dancing with someone of the same sex. The state had gender-appropriate clothing statute, and female police officers would take suspected cross-dressing patrons into the bathroom to check their sex. For all of these reasons, violent police raids were routine at gay bars. These women are credited with fighting back and demonstrating with their actions no more. When we peel back the layers of our American history, we see that all of us who have been struggling to be seen as whole human beings, have had to fight with law enforcement and with our government to see us this way. This fight is far from over. Those of us who are white need to reflect on how even if we are a member of another marginalized community, our whiteness still affords us upper status, even within that marginalized community. Women's suffrage of the 1920s was actually white women's suffrage. And the LGBT community, I am sorry and ashamed to say, has also historically been a white space where people of color have often felt the poison of white supremacy among its members. Although gay rights started with some very brave transgender women of color, the movement was quickly whitewashed. And today, transgender women of color are dying at alarming rates. We have got to do better. Our community is not done fighting until everyone in our family is safe. And let me be clear that when I say family, I mean everyone everywhere who is still fighting for equal rights. We cannot limit our family to those who love like us or who identify like us. We have allies in our movement. We need to be allies in all the others. Fight for Black lives. Fight for police reform. Fight for immigration reform. Fight for Native and Indigenous rights. Fight for women's right to control our own bodies. Fight for everyone in our community to be seen and treated as whole human beings. The last thing I will say is to get out and vote. This is a big election year. And if you're not a white man, a lot of people have fought like hell for you to have the right to vote, so go and exercise it. I want to invite Trudy. Would you like to come up and say a few words? No? Okay.
Put me on the spot. I don't know. I just want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us, our cause, and just keep fighting the fight. Until then, stay connected to our page, Holly Pride, and we'll keep marching down every time that we want to be equal. Thank you.
Just a few announcements. Today is the last day to register to vote in Holliston's election, and I also believe it's the last day to send in your mail-in ballot registration. Please do so if you have not done so already. This is a very important election as it will elect a new school committee who's going to hire a new superintendent. And we are really hoping that we can put someone in that position who values equality and progression. Next Friday is June 19th. Which is Juneteenth. It's a commemoration of when the last enslaved Americans were freed in this country. Diverse Holliston is working on a demonstration that day, which will begin at Goodwill Park at 4:30. Please look for further details on Diverse Holliston's Facebook page in the next few days. Lastly, I want to say we have several local businesses who are supporting Holliston Pride this year. I want to give a shout out to them. Fisk's is selling rainbow masks. You can buy these at Fisk's. Aesop's Fables is featuring LGBTQ books this month. The library is going to be reading a story at their story hour. I believe it's called Red. It's about a crayon, but it's an analogy. Gitano's is selling rainbow pastries. And Holliston Market is going to be featuring rainbow jewelry. And I believe later this month they're going to be selling Holliston Pride tank tops. So look out on our Facebook page, Holly Pride. Thank you everybody and happy Pride.